All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. As you can see, the title of this article, Russia warns it will see any incoming missile as nuclear, right? So going into second Esdras, the 9th chapter, about measuring the time diligently in itself, all right, you will see and know and understand that this world is being plunged into a world war. And this is prophecy, all right? And this third world war is going to involve thermonuclear missiles. Why? Because the Lord is going to make quick work of this place, okay? You know, sword for sword, you know, it'll take too much time, all right? The Lord wants this place to be destroyed in 1 hour, as it is written, okay? So the Lord is raising up nations to come up against so-called America, and that mentality, all right? That spirit is out, that what? The beast is hating the horde. These other nations are tired of dealing with so-called America, all right? And the Lord's hardening them, okay? It could be, a dud, okay? It could be a pigeon, okay? That gets picked up on the radar and it's seen as a missile. Russia's going all out, okay? And as well as the other nations that join with Russia, okay? You know, destroy so-called America. So really quick, get a quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 9. Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, so going into ancient warfare, you know, warfare was fought with swords, shields, helmets, okay? You know, you got your arrows, all right? But in today's time, war is fought with missiles, okay? You know, and because technology has advanced, okay? So going into with confused noise again, you know, ancient warfare, men screaming, you know, making grunts, all right? You know, but again, you know, in this time, this world's gonna be fought with thermonuclear missiles, all right, and unmanned aircrafts, okay, and unmanned soldiers, okay. Esau got, army of robots, okay, you know. So again, going into this third world war, why it's going to be so destructive is because these thermonuclear missiles, that's what they're called, weapons of mass destruction, okay? A gun is not a weapon of mass destruction, okay? A thermonuclear missile is, okay? So going to some of this article, all right, here, this is Moscow, AP, Associated Press, which is the article. Russia will perceive any ballistic missile launched at its territory as a nuclear attack. Let's lock it. This fast. Russia will perceive any ballistic missile launched at its territory as a nuclear attack that warrants a nuclear retaliation, the military warned in an article published Friday. Okay, so these nations are not playing no games with so-called America, all right? They're tired of being dealt, you know, with wrongfully by the horde. Okay, you know, again, these nations have drunk in that cup, all right? I mean, made fornication, done deals, okay, business deals with so-called America, and they got the bad end of the stick. They got the short end of the stick, all right? So the Lord is raising them up, making them mad, okay? So the weak saying they're strong, meaning they have the same military might as so-called America does, okay? You know, of course, America has by far, you know, on paper, the best military in the world, okay? That's what they're known for, okay? Going into their iron teeth, all right? Which was going back to the ancient Roman Empire, which is today being so-called America, all right? But these nations are gonna come together, okay? And by that same technology, destroy so-called America, all right? Which is Babylon the Great, all right? So really quick, I'll get a precept as well. It's Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51, start at verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. What's that destroying wind? These thermonuclear missiles, okay? All right? So the Lord's raising up these nations, okay, to come up against so-called America, all right? This verse 2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, okay? AK-47 or an M16 is not going to empty an entire land with a population of what, 330 some million people, okay, in 1 hour. All right, it's not gonna happen. All right, it's gonna be by these thermonuclear missiles. Okay, that's how this place is gonna be emptied and never inhabited again. All right, continuing. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. So this place is getting cornered. Okay, everybody's turning their back on so-called America. Okay, you know, all the EU nations. Okay, you know, the NATO nations. All right, they're getting ready to come up against so-called America. All right, America's gonna have no allies. All right, and this is verse 3. And against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. So the modern day bow, okay, because going into what we brought out earlier, Isaiah 9:5, all right, technology advanced. All right, so the modern day sword is the gun. All right, and the modern day bow and arrow is these missiles. Okay, you know, the modern day shield, you can say, is these you know, what the S-400s, S-500s, you know, military, you know, it's like the missile deterrent systems, okay, the defense systems, okay, the shields used for defense. Okay, so that's what it is today. Again, that technology has advanced. All right, so read again, Jeremiah 51:3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine. Brigandine is chainmail armor. Okay, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts, all her army. Okay, so, you know, going into, you know, Yehoshaphat, you know, Jehoshaphat, okay, which is out there in the Middle East. All right, that's where the, you know, the main battle is going to take place. Okay, you know, all these nations being thrown in the Middle East in that Third World War. Okay, you know, and then what, and there's going to be wars all over the place. Okay, the Lord says, you know, he's a man of war. All right, and there shall be many fires kindled. You know, there's going to be war here in America. All right, but going into what's going to happen to so-called America, this place is going to be destroyed, ultimately, to say. Okay, verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they shall, and they that are thrust through in her streets. So these missiles are not going to spare none. Okay, you know, shoot at her. All right, spare. No arrows are going to be spared on so-called America. All right, it's going to be overkill. All right, and these nations are being hardened through spirit power Yahweh Shai to come up against this place. All right, so this place doesn't have much time left. Okay, so again, this place is going to be made quick work of. Okay, because the Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, is orchestrating this. All right, and what more when he returns? Okay, this place says as is done. All right, so here, going back to the article, the harsh warning in the official military newspaper, whatever, Red Star, directed at the United States. Right, again, at, you know, like directed. Okay, directly talking about so-called America. All right, which has worked to develop long-range non-nuclear weapons. So these so-called Russian Edomites, they don't care what you send. Okay, you can send a kite. All right, they're gonna take it as a threat. All right, no one's playing games with so-called America no more. All right, they don't care if it's non-nuclear. You might as well use them. Okay, because Russia's saying if you shoot anything over here, we're gonna take it as a nuclear threat. Okay, and there's gonna be severe punishment. The article follows the publication in June of Russia's nuclear deterrent policy that, and I don't know, I say that word, forgive me, envisages whatever the use of atomic weapons in response to what could be a conventional strike targeting the nation's critical government and military infrastructure. All right, so their policy is, you shoot with anything, we're shooting thermonuclear missiles at you. All right, here I read this little quote. Any attacking missile will be perceived as carrying a nuclear warhead. All right, the article said the information about the missile launch will be automatically relayed to the Russian military political leadership, which will determine the scope of retaliatory action by nuclear forces depending on the evolving situation. So so-called America, you know, is on its way out. Okay, because these nations are being hardened. All right, and ultimately, this is the Lord's will. Okay, because these nations, they're doing this because they think they're gonna get upper hand and be the new rulers to come. So going into what China and Iran and Russia and these other nations are thinking. All right, but it's not gonna happen, because the Lord's gonna destroy this place as a whole, this whole infrastructure. All right, and set up the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is gonna be under Yahweh Shai, 144,000. All right, elect men. All right, so let me get something else, because that's why the Lord's gonna make quick work. He's not winning to win. The Heavenly Father Yahweh gives Yahweh that green light. You think Yahushua is gonna, take his time. Okay, you know how long he's been waiting. Okay, said the day of vengeance burneth in his heart. He's gonna make quick work. Okay, of this place. All right, and that body count's gonna go all towards Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, because he kills, he wants. All right. Let's lock it. This is Isaiah 66. And start at, I'll just read 15 and 16. Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So this is the season of fire. Okay, the world which was, okay, going into in the days of Noah was flooded with water. Okay, but this place is gonna be flooded with fire. Okay, it'll be by these thermonuclear missiles and the laser beams coming out from the chariots of the Lord. Okay, which the word English calls UFOs. All right, which are the vehicles of the Israelite salvation. Okay, and the curse that go for all the face of this world. Okay, Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So again, going into these missiles, it's gonna make quick work of this place. Okay, it's like dissolving everything in his sight, devouring everything. Okay, in his sight. Okay, trees, everything, elements. Okay, all right, because that's the anger of the Lord. All right, this is staying in Isaiah 34. It's gonna be a long lesson. All right, the point is there. All right, going into these, again, current event lessons. All right, this is how you keep up with prophecy. Okay, by what's going on around in the world. All right, you measure via the scriptures. All right, Isaiah 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Okay, because these missiles are part of the Lord's army. Okay, because the Lord his spirit is going to be on those missiles. Okay, he's gonna spiritually hijack them. Okay, and put his wrath on those missiles. Okay, when those things blow up, that's the wrath of the Lord. Okay, because he made it. Okay, he mustered the host to the battle. So he's the one that's orchestrating all this stuff. Okay, he's the one playing the chessboard. Okay, Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. These missiles go out of space. All right, behold, it shall come down. Right, it shall come down. Because these missiles, what? They come down. They go into the heavens and they come down. All right. Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Okay. That's a Greek way of saying Edom. Okay. So Esau is Edom. All right. This place, so-called America, is the headquarters of Esau, Edom. Okay. Which he stole from the so-called Native Americans. All right. And brought over you so-called Negroes here into slavery via cargo slave ships. All right. All right. Continuing, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Okay, who are the people of the Lord's curse? Let's get it real quick, so there's no confusion. All right, it's Malachi chapter 4. It's like Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts. All right, because going into his desolate places, the Roman Empire fell. Okay, so what? He rebuilt that Roman Empire that fell, which is here today, going into that deadly wound being healed, which is so-called America. All right, Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. All right, because in the Renaissance is what he rebuilt. All right, the rebirth. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, of armies, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the abode of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. All right, so there you go. That's the people of the curse. All right, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right, Isaiah 60. It's like Isaiah 34. Going back there, Isaiah 34 and what was I? 5. Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Verse 6. The sword of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, all right, so-called America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, which is so-called America. All right, and wherever this damn devil dwells at, okay, because he cursed everything, all right? He's defiled everything, all right? But again, this Lord's going to make quick work of this place. Salak, yeah. This is our Revelation. Revelation 18 and verse 16. Revelation 18 and 16, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. Verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. Okay, again, talking about this kingdom. All right, how this place was built. All right, by rape, robbery, and murder. Okay, so guess what? And that's why I read James 5th chapter about, this place is corrupted. All right, because like we say, it's blood money. All right, so this place has been decked by the misery, all right, torture of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. All right, it's verse 17. For in 1 hour so great riches come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. Because again, all these nations do deals with so-called America. All right, verse 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of it burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So, again, so-called America being what it is, okay, it's called Babylon the Great. Okay, at this point in time, it is the greatest kingdom ever to be established on the planet Earth. All right, so you look in the skyscrapers, because going into where John the Revelator got these visions, he was amazed. Okay, but the angel said, why marvel? Okay, this place is going to be destroyed. This is the place that the Lord is going to show his pure wrath upon. Okay, it would be more tolerable if you were living at the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, it'd be more tolerable if you lived in the times of Noah than in this time here if you're an evildoer. Okay, this place is done. Okay, I read down to verse 20. Revelation 18 and 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and holy apostles and prophets. Okay, it didn't say rejoice, you regular sinners, you people of the world, you devils. Okay, it said rejoice over her, thou heaven, because the kingdom of heaven was within us. All right, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. Okay, it's the same place, where we caught so much hell. It's the same place we're gonna get. It's like the Lord's world beamed up and change into and get our new bodies and receive that glory. All right, verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. All right, so with violence, because this place was established by violence and blood, so this place is going to go out with violence and blood. All right, and the place, where we've been put to shame. All right, here's where we be called people of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, going into Wisdom Song 5th chapter, and so on and so forth. Okay, but this place is done. Okay, so that tells you, hey, another kingdom is getting ready to be established. Okay, because one falls, another one rises, and that's going to be the kingdom of heaven. All right, it's going to be upon the planet Earth, which belongs to so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans under Yahweh Shem Shai. So with that, Lord's words be edifying. As always, going to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, by Shem Kavadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the millstone. Peace and blessed all for Israel. Shalom.